Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
That's $100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, once claiming career earnings above $1.2 billion, is now reportedly facing severe financial collapse following new CNN reports coverage says. Despite displaying private jets, luxury mansions, and expensive watches, insiders say Mayweather's reckless spending, failed ventures, and rising legal fees have caused major damage financially. Sources report the boxing icon is quietly selling assets to cover debts, while others claim looming bankruptcy filing possible.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get.
Floyd Mayweather was once at the top of sporting wealth, with reports placing his total earnings at over $1.20 to $2 billion from fight purses, endorsements, and public appearances. However, the money came in fast and was spent just as quickly. Rather than focusing on smart investing or long-term financial security, Mayweather lived like the income would never stop. Extravagant buys such as gold-plated private jets and massive collections of supercars became part of his everyday lifestyle. His drive to be recognized as the wealthiest and most flashy name in sports overtook financial caution. Those same habits tied to his money image are now said to have pushed him close to financial collapse.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least $400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like $100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
Close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
all right. Let's see what they say. Exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather was known not only for his undefeated boxing record, but also for the massive paychecks his fights generated. His showdown with Manny Pacquiao reportedly brought in more than $250 million, while his exhibition match with Conor McGregor produced similarly huge earnings. He was often labeled the highest-paid athlete in the world. Instead of using that income to build lasting financial security, he turned it into a driver for excess. Lavish celebrations, private jets for his entire entourage, and million-dollar gambling sessions became a regular part of his lifestyle.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment is watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Mayweather's financial issues have not been tied only to spending habits, as his legal history has also drawn attention. Over time, his name has appeared in multiple disputes involving controversial business dealings. In 2022, he was linked to a class action lawsuit connected to a cryptocurrency project that critics described as a pump and dump scheme. Although that case was eventually dismissed, it raised questions about his involvement in fast-moving, hype-based investments without proper oversight. Later in 2024, another lawsuit accused him of directing his bodyguard to attack a man, with a plaintiff seeking more than $3 million in damages. Taken together, These cases are seen as evidence of a pattern of risky financial and legal decisions.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan, never one to hold back, publicly criticized Mayweather's apparent disregard for tax obligations. Rogan warned that no matter how rich a person is, failing to pay taxes invites serious trouble with the IRS. And he's right, many wealthy individuals have fallen due to such neglect. Rogan pointed out that Floyd's extravagant lifestyle might be hiding deep financial instability. The blueprint Floyd seems to be following isn't new.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
Mike Tyson famously made hundreds of millions in his boxing prime before eventually declaring bankruptcy. After years of uncontrolled spending, Tyson owned Tiger's large mansions and even gold bathtub. Now comparisons are being made as Floyd appears to be following a similar path, like Tyson Mayweather continues to show off cars, jewelry, and luxury homes. Yet behind the public image, his finances are said to look unstable.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada yada yada, it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement, or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. we can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And it's going to, and I understand the argument for those who want to may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
Ironically, Floyd frequently talks about money strategy, including mentioning by low, sell-high methods in property investing. Yet his behavior runs against what he says. Nobody denies Mayweather's skill in the ring. Defensive skill, precise timing, and fight IQ secured his place among boxing's all-time greats. He ended his career undefeated, a feat very few athletes achieve. However, athletic ability doesn't guarantee financial smarts. His focus and discipline inside boxing stand in stark contrast with reckless behavior beyond the ring, showing different sides entirely.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. Yes. He became the villain.
Even Floyd's uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has also raised concerns about his financial choices. In a straightforward interview, Jeff said he no longer fully understands Floyd's unpredictable behavior, particularly his inconsistent investment decisions. According to him, Floyd seems to enter business deals without a clear plan, often guided more by pride than practical thinking. His large real estate claims have also drawn skepticism from people familiar with how high risk those markets can be.
No idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much. So we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things, and so I mean I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean I haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Floyd's dispute with the IRS has been viewed as a serious warning sign. At one point, federal authorities were reportedly urging him to liquidate properties and clear outstanding tax liabilities, since failing to do so could lead to severe financial consequences. When the IRS steps in and begins taking action on assets, it is often seen as evidence of significant financial mismanagement. His decision not to address tax issues early and in a structured way is said to have worsened the situation over time.
I'm at least at fact reporting. You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
Eventually, Floyd addressed the tax rumors by revealing he had paid $26 million to the IRS. But instead of resolving doubts, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount owed? Was it too late? The timing seemed less about transparency and more about damage control. Some critics argue that the payment was a public relations move aimed at silencing growing speculation.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, I mean, $26 million.
They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas.
Despite rising lawsuits and ongoing financial warnings, Mayweather recently claimed he put $42 million into real estate, saying he bought 62 buildings in Manhattan using only his own funds. He emphasized that there were no outside investors involved in the deal. However, critics have questioned the credibility of this statement. The timing and size of the claim appear questionable, particularly in light of his other reported financial issues.
$2 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
Instead of building trust, the claim has only fueled more doubt. If it is accurate, it points to a pattern of financial overreach. Mayweather's focus on material possessions is often seen as one of his most harmful habits. Each luxury car, high-end watch, and gold chain contributes to a lifestyle that may no longer be financially sustainable. Sources close to the situation suggest he is spending more than he earns on a monthly basis. The numbers reportedly do not align. When those expenses also carry heavy tax burdens, the pressure becomes even greater.
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Nothing shows Floyd's focus on spectacle more clearly than his recent visit to Mexico, where he arrived in an armored tank. While most people in his position would travel in luxury SUVs or by private jet, Mayweather chose something far more extreme. The move appeared less about convenience and more about drawing attention. Although moments like these often go viral, they also suggest a lifestyle that is increasingly detached from practical financial thinking.
Yeah, they got Floyd Mayweather, like...
Well, I don't say kidnapped, but you know, you got your passport taken. You can't come and leave when you want to go, but he ain't in jail, so
okay.
He's out at a 6-star hotel being Floyd, so I guess it ain't that bad, but we'll see. We're going to watch and see like everybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, when you think of Money Mayweather, you thinking like Floyd may have like $1 billion or something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business. But Floyd's very, very, as the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. We say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved up.
That's a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of his problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out, like whatever the tab is. You know, he should be able to wire that.
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
Mayweather's watch collection, reportedly worth millions, is often cited as another example of his strong attraction to visible luxury. Social media frequently features images of diamond-covered timepieces lined up in rows, each one more extravagant than the last. While many fans view these displays as impressive, financial analysts tend to see them differently. From a financial standpoint, such items rarely grow in value and instead lose worth the moment they are purchased, making them a poor long-term investment.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases, and they're all full with watches. So when I travel, I like to take, you know, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is Ali & Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, Ali & Co. As you can see, Avi & Co. Now, let's talk about watches, let's talk about jewelry, let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll set this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course, just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out, we're gonna go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
When it comes to business, Floyd's reputation is often viewed as just as controversial as his spending habits. His approach has largely been driven by profit rather than long-term principles, which has led him into ventures that have sparked criticism. From disputed cryptocurrency involvement to promotional projects that struggled to succeed, Mayweather's business history is frequently described as a series of impulsive choices. Financial stability typically depends on structure, ethics, and careful planning, elements critics say have not consistently defined his decisions. As concerns grow about his money management, so does speculation about whether his financial standing is under strain. Some observers suggest that without a shift in approach, his legacy could extend beyond boxing success to questions about financial decline.
Yeah. I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7 where you can see the behind the scenes. That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big. So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7. I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s. So the timing of him becoming his own boss, which you're going to make the majority.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for what's coming next.